Hello and welcome back to another army showcase video, this time for my Dogs of War army. As you can see, the setup is a little different here. I am actually just using still images and not recording this live. The reason for this being that I took these pictures last year when I finished painting the army, and I don't really want to go through the hassle of putting everything up for display again just to film a video when I can just film, recording my voice over the images that I took back then. So you are gonna get a little bit of different experience, but I think it's gonna work out just fine nonetheless. Dogs of War is my biggest army by far. What you see on the screen right now is about 25% of it, so 75% is not painted and up for display yet. I will get to painting the rest eventually, but since I have a lot of other armies that I also want to paint, I am gonna paint the smaller armies first before I get back to the Dogs of War army. Reason being that my Dogs of War army, as it is a full complete army of all the Regiments of Renown, all the Games Workshop models there. So I do not feel that I need to go and paint everything else right now. I have a fully playable army as is already, so I'd rather let the other armies get some paint first. I started this army back in around 2009 or so. This was kind of a big decision back then because I was only 19 and I did not have that much money. But I did save up a lot to buy the Regiments of Renown that were still available on the Games Workshop website. And after that, I have been scoring quite a lot of good eBay deals before they got to be super duper expensive. So anyway, let's go through the units one by one. First up, we have the Berman of Catrasa, which was an eBay purchase I made quite a few many years ago, well, like 10 years ago probably at this point. I added some steel rods to make them fly a little bit higher and put them on some resin bases to, keep them steady way down. Next up, we have Bronzino's Galloper guns. I got him and the Galloper guns through a very lucky forum purchase. I got him and a bunch of other units and characters for just $40 about 12 years ago now, which was crazy good price back then and even more insane now by today's standards. Uh, Unfortunately, the crew was duplicated. There are 6 different crew members, and I only got 3 of the different poses, but I meant to track down the missing 3 crew members later on through eBay, so I have all the different poses now, which makes me very happy. Here we have Asarnil, the Dragon Lord. Asarnil is the original from 5th edition. The dragon is the High Elf Dragon from 7th edition. And the reason being that I found Asarnil just sold on his own at a reasonable price. And I had actually the dragon since earlier. I actually made my own just plastic Asarnil using the High Elf kit. But when I found the real Asarnil figure, I would buy that one instead. Here we have my Goldfax Ogres. This is another set I bought on eBay at a really good price. I'm not sure how much I paid, but I think it was more like around $20 or so. Maybe I bought them, I'm not sure, was it 5, 7 years ago, probably. I actually had this set with that mentioned super good forum purchase, but I actually sold all 5 of them for about, I think, $15 in 2011. Um, which was of course a horrible mistake. But luckily I managed to buy them back for just $20 or so several years later. I didn't really like them all that much at first because they're pretty ugly looking, to be honest, but they have some real old school charm to them, and that does make me pretty happy. So I am glad that I bought them back and have them in my collection now. Here we have the Giants of Albion. These ones were another eBay purchase. This one, a decent purchase, wasn't super duper expensive either, like less than retail, I think. So I'm pretty happy with that. These ones are featured my Albion army. That's where the bases are different. Here we have my Volans Venators, 6 of them. I actually have 8 of them now because I found the 2 missing poses later on. So I have a full unit of 8 with all the unique poses, which I'm very happy with. These ones were bought from Games Workshop on their website, plus another night that I got later. Here we have Makai, no, so his name is Malakai Makai-son, and he's Goblin Hewer. Another eBay purchase. I got it for about $30, I think. It was a pretty good price back then. Very cheap by today's standard. I had a few missing pieces, like one axe was missing, one head was missing, but I cost those up, and I have a complete model now, which is very nice. And here we have Mengel Manhide's Manflayers. These ones were also bought on the Games Workshop website about 12 years ago, and painted up in my Dark Elf colors. So these ones are featured in my Dark Elf army, so that's why their bases are different there as well. Here we have Lumpin Krupp's Fighting Cocks, which were part of the forum purchase for the $40 whole. I painted these in a different color before, but I changed back to the typical green that they canonically have. And I actually did a little bit more effort painting the nose and cheeks with a more rosy color, because that really fits the halfling look more. So I'm quite happy with how these turn out. And here we have Ugla Khan and his Wolf Boys. This was another purchase that I made from eBay, plus another two missing poses that I got later. Ugla Khan was part of the forum purchase. Here we have Rugla's Armored Orcs. This was another purchase through Games Workshop's website. I really like these orc models with their armor and stuff like that. So yeah, these are really, really great models. Bring a real smile to my face when I see them. Here we have Tishiwishi's Raiders. This is a fairly recent purchase. I managed to get them at an okay price. I don't actually like this unit all that much, to be honest. The scouts are really old by today's standard, and the cold ones look kind of wonky. But I don't have any other skinks or other listmen for that fact. So I figured that I should get these and add them to my collection. So I have, at least some listmen in my army, even though the models themselves are not that great. So I'm still happy to have them. Now this is a real rarity. These are Anaconda's Amazons, the original ones, not the later Mordheim models. These ones were released for Mordheim around, oh, I'm not sure what year, 1999, I guess, something like that. The scalps aren't great by today's standard, but I mean, they are the original Amazons. I kind of felt that I have to have them. These are part of my Amazon army normally, so the bases are different because of that. You can see that these ones actually have the features that the models are supposed to have according to the lore. So you have Anaconda with the snakeskin, you have Hummingbird with the banner, and you have Piranha with the horn and the giant piranha helmet. So the funny thing with these ones is that I actually bought these while drunk. I was coming home from the pub, and I noticed these were up for buy it now on eBay for about $100. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take that. So I clicked buy it now, and then they arrived, and I'm like, oh, well, this was actually a good purchase. So yeah, it was a lucky drunk buy, funnily enough. Here we have Longdrong's Slayer Pirates, another eBay purchase. Really cute models, this one. Yeah, I would like to have a bit more of them, like 20, but I'm alright with having 15, and yeah, I don't really have space for 20, I guess. So yeah, 15 it is. Here we have the Cursed Company. I have been buying these piecemeal, and I have more models now than what is shown here. I've bought some Authors of War models, such as Beastmen and Goblins and an Ogre. I would like to have a few human skeletons in the army though, but I haven't really found any good human skeletons that I really like that don't look like they have ancient armor. So we'll see. Eventually somebody will make some good skeletons, I think. And here we have Manon's Blades from Forge World. The left arms and the right arms, well, I mean all the arms, are from the Empire State Troops kit. So that's what they originally come with. And yeah, these are pretty cool overall looking. Good Forge World models. What we have here is Vesperos Vendetta, which I also got as part of an eBay purchase quite a long time ago. And I've also added some more models to it piecemeal to have a unit of 10. here we have Al-Mukhtar's Desert Dogs. These ones go in my Arabi army, so that's why I have the desert bases. Got 5 of them on eBay, plus the missing 6 posts separately later on. Here we have my Braganza's Besiegers, which I got from Games Workshop. So my favorite Regiments of Renown, this one. Their full plate armor, crossbows, and pavises. They are just really badass models. And then we have Erika's Republican Guard, another one of my personal favorites that I also got from Games Workshop. I had about 25 models, but I sold off the 5 I didn't need, so I just kept 20, which is fine for a display regiment. So yeah, these are really cool with the golden armor and bloodied sashes or bandages, stuff like that around their heads. Here we have my Al-Qatani Fellowship, which again is another really cool unit. This unit has a whopping 23 poses of pikemen, plus the free command poses. 26 unique poses out of the 30 models in here, which is crazy. Another unit that I bought piecemeal. I bought like the original 12 on eBay, and then I've been buying the other missing poses separately. We have Leopold's Leopard Company, another cool regiment of pikemen. Got them nearly all of them from Games Workshop. I think a few poses were bought piecemeal just to have maximum variety of the poses. So another really cool regiment. And here we have my Lost Legion, Pegasus Lost Legion. Got them from Games Workshop. I originally actually built and painted them to look like Telmarines from the Prince Caspian Narnia movie. But then I converted them back to pikemen and normal crossbowmen. So they are a proper regiment as they were intended to be. Also really cool models, these ones. And here we have the Marksman of Miragliano, which I also got from Games Workshop. The set came with 12 unique poses, and then there were 3 more poses that I got later on for a total of 15 unique poses, which is, well, all of them really. So I'm happy to have a complete set. And here we have my wizards, at least some of them. These are hired swords from Mordheim. You have Simius Gant, the Crowmaster, the Mordheim Warlock, Mordheim Elf Mage, also known as a Jedi. Yep, that's what I call them. And Nicodemus, the Cursed Pilgrim, as well, who's in there. Then we have some special characters. Marco Columbo to the left. I also have the newer model that Games Workshop released later. That one is a unit filler though, in another regiment, so he's not painted yet. We have Lorenzo Lupo, which was part of the forum deal. Leonardo Miragliano, which is from the Empire Hellblaster, not really sold separately. I changed the he's standing on a pile of Hellblaster shots, but I changed that to a rock because, well, there's no Hellblasters in my army, so it made more sense. And we also have Beorg, the Bearmen of Urslo. I don't actually have the Bearmen themselves because the models are pretty ugly. I don't really like them at all. So I just have Beorg. He's part of my Norska army, so that's why he also has a different base. More characters. We have Lightpold the Black, or is it Leitpold the Black, from Forgewell. We have Borge the Besieger and Lucrezia Belladonna, the Mercenary General. All of those are also part of that $40 forum deal. The Mercenary General has been converted with a bunch of extra bits to make him look a little less plain. And I also made his horse rear on its hind legs, so it looks a little bit more important there. And here we have Midas the Mean with his pay cart and Sheik Yarosh, who is watching over it. And then we have the Witch Hunters. We have Johan van Haal, is the Witch Hunter, and Willem Habsburg, or Hasburg, is the name of the priest. Another eBay purchase. And here we have Gotrek and Felix, finally. This is the second edition version of them. I had the original edition, which I sold because it was kind of outdated and I like this one better. I also had the Black Library set, the limited edition one, which are even nicer models, but they are in a bigger scale, which means they look like giants next to the rest of my models. So I figured I would just go with this set instead and sold those off, which is fine. I don't really regret it. I have one set of them, which is more than enough. So yeah, that is my Dogs of War army. Hope you enjoyed this little tour of it. It is, like I said, one of my favorite armies, along with my Bretonnians. Unfortunately, all of these models are in production now, so if you want to collect this army yourself, you better be really, really rich and lucky, because they are very hard to find, especially with all the poses, and you have to pay through your nose with both your arms and both your legs in order to buy them on eBay. So I am very happy and fortunate to have this full collection here, and I'll don't think I will ever sell these. I hope these will go towards my children in the future, and they will hopefully appreciate the army as well, or at least sell it for a very good amount of money. Anyway, that's all for this video. Hope you enjoyed this little tour, as I said, and see you in the next one. Cheers.